What were you doing at 27? Probably trying to figure out how to pay off student loans or keep a houseplant alive. Well, at that same age, Karoline Leavitt isn't just surviving. She's rewriting the entire rulebook for power and influence in America. She's the youngest White House press secretary in history, but forget the politics for a second. We're here to talk about the life that comes with that title. A world of private jets, nine-figure real estate, and a wardrobe that costs more than a college education. From small-town roots to billion-dollar branches. Before she was fielding questions in the White House briefing room, Karoline Leavitt was a kid from Atkinson, New Hampshire. It's the kind of picturesque small town where the American dream feels both alive and, well, modest. Her family ran a small business, a background that screams hard work and hustle, not Hampton soirees. She went to Central Catholic High, then St. Anselm College, studying politics and communications. By all accounts, she was a firecracker, sharp, opinionated, and relentlessly ambitious. While most of her peers were navigating internships and entry-level jobs, Karoline made a beeline for the only place that matched her ambition, the White House. She landed a gig as a communications assistant in the first Trump administration, learning the ropes not from a textbook, but from inside the world's most powerful building. She even made a bold, though unsuccessful, run for Congress in 2022. It was a clear signal. Karoline Leavitt wasn't just knocking on the door of the establishment, she was planning to kick it down and redecorate. But no one could have predicted just how lavish that redecoration would be. When Donald Trump returned for a second term, he brought Karoline with him, handing her the keys to one of the most visible jobs in the world. And with that job came a lifestyle that makes most Hollywood A-listers look like they're living on a budget. The mogul and the mouthpiece. In a town where power couples are often more like strategic mergers, the union of Karoline Leavitt and Nicholas Riccio is the stuff of high society legend. Let's talk about the man behind the woman who stands behind the podium. Nicholas Riccio is a real estate titan, a man who builds luxury empires from Miami to Manhattan. He's the kind of old-school mogul who commands rooms with a quiet confidence that only comes from decades of turning blueprints into billions. He's also, get this, 32 years her senior. Their relationship sent shockwaves through the elite circles when it first hit the rumor mills in mid-2023. She, the fiery young political prodigy, he, the seasoned, worldly tycoon. It was a pairing so unexpected, it felt ripped from the pages of a novel. But Karoline doesn't do things by half measures. In December 2023, they announced their engagement, and just weeks later, in a ceremony so private and luxurious the media could only speculate, they tied the knot in January 2024. Then, on July 10th, 2024, they welcomed their first child, a son, cementing a whirlwind romance that vaulted Karoline from a political staffer's salary to the stratosphere of the ultra-wealthy. This isn't just a marriage, it's a dynasty in the making. A partnership where political capital and actual capital have merged into a formidable force, all happening while she commands the nation's attention on a daily basis. The wardrobe as weaponry. Let's be honest, when Karoline Leavitt steps up to the podium, you're not just listening to the policy updates, you're looking at the fit. Her style is a masterclass in modern power dressing. This isn't your mother's pantsuit. This is a hybrid of Reagan-era polish and Gen Z audacity. One day it's a structured Balmain blazer that costs more than the average person's rent for 3 months. The next day, she's attending a diplomatic reception in custom Oscar de la Renta or navigating the White House grounds in a pair of sharp Valentino heels. Her fashion is a language all its own. The sleek silhouettes, the bold, structured shoulders, the statement accessories. It all screams unapologetic confidence. Insiders whisper that top-tier stylists manage her wardrobe, but Karoline herself curates the final vibe. It's a look that's been described as Ivanka meets Kayleigh McEnany, but with the business instinct of a shark in stilettos. She understands that in a world dominated by visuals, the wardrobe isn't just clothing. It's armor. It's a tool to command respect, project authority, and ensure that even before she says a word, she has the full attention of the room. Every outfit is a headline, turning the White House press briefing into the most exclusive runway in the world. Life in the billionaire fast lane. So, what does life look like when you're not just in the political inner circle, but also married into a 9-figure fortune? It looks a lot like the inside of a Gulfstream G650. Private jets aren't a luxury for Karoline. They are her regular mode of transport, hopping from a high-stakes fundraiser in Palm Beach to a private tech roundtable in Silicon Valley. Her life outside the West Wing is just as, if not more, headline-worthy than her time behind the podium. Her weekends are a blur of exclusive events that most people only read about. Think champagne brunches at sprawling Hamptons estates, ski retreats in the most exclusive resorts in Aspen, and of course, regular soirees at Mar-a-Lago, the glittering epicenter of her social and professional world. She's not just attending these events, she's a main attraction. She moves seamlessly between conversations with tech billionaires, foreign dignitaries, and media moguls. She's living a life that is, for all intents and purposes, billionaire adjacent, and she makes absolutely no effort to hide it. In fact, she leans into it, showcasing a life of immense power and privilege that is as intoxicating to her supporters as it is infuriating to her critics. The influencer-in-chief. In a world of analog politicians, Karoline Leavitt is a true digital native, and that might be her most powerful weapon. She doesn't wait for the New York Times to write a headline. She creates her own on Instagram and X. Her social media is a brilliantly curated feed of power and glamour. Every press briefing is clipped into a viral soundbite. Every power suit becomes a topic of conversation. Her behind-the-scenes reels, showing glimpses of life inside the White House, rack up millions of views. She has effectively transformed the role of press secretary into a hybrid of a communications director and a top-tier influencer. She speaks directly to a generation of young conservatives who see her not as a government official, but as an icon. They don't just agree with her, they want to be her. At the same time, progressives can't stop stitching and reacting to her videos, which only amplifies her reach. Love her or hate her, you can't ignore her because she's designed her entire public persona to be unignorable. She's loud, she's polarizing, and she's building a personal brand that might just outlast the administration she serves. More than a mouthpiece? While the world is busy dissecting her outfits and viral clapbacks, they're missing the real story. Karoline Leavitt isn't just the face of the administration, she's quietly becoming one of its most influential minds. The job of press secretary is her public-facing role, but behind the scenes, she's ascending through the strategic ranks at lightning speed. Don't let the glamour fool you. This is a calculated rise to the absolute center of power. Sources close to the White House say she's no longer just in the communications lane. She's now a regular fixture in high-level strategy meetings, off-the-record policy briefings, and think tank discussions that actually shape the administration's agenda from the inside out. Her sharp instincts and deep understanding of media dynamics have reportedly made her a go-to advisor for Trump himself. While the public sees her executing policy, insiders claim she's helping to craft it. The whispers in Washington are getting louder. They say she's already playing a key role in shaping the GOP's long-term strategy with a sharp eye on the 2028 race. Is a future campaign chair, a VP contender, or even a candidate in the making? Who knows? But one thing is clear. She's not just part of the machine. She's becoming the engine. The unapologetic queen. Of course, this kind of high-flying, unapologetic lifestyle doesn't come without a chorus of critics. She's been relentlessly targeted by mainstream media, mocked on late-night comedy shows, and painted as the confrontational poster child for a controversial administration. Her assertive, no-nonsense attitude at the podium is often branded as dismissive or arrogant. The sheer opulence of her life is constantly contrasted with the struggles of everyday Americans, making her a lightning rod for criticism about wealth and power. But here's the thing about Karoline Leavitt. She thrives under the fire. The criticism doesn't make her flinch. It seems to fuel her. She doesn't retreat from the controversy, she doubles down, delivering her message with even sharper precision. She famously stared down a reporter during a heated press conference, her eyes locked on the camera, and delivered a line that has since gone viral and perfectly encapsulates her entire ethos. "I wasn't hired to be liked. I was hired to deliver facts. If that bothers you, get better facts." And with that, the mic dropped. It was a message not just to the media in the room, but to the entire world. She's not here for your approval. She's here to win. So, what are we watching here? Is it a political career or the birth of a new American celebrity? At just 27, Karoline Leavitt has combined immense political power, staggering personal wealth and social media savvy into something we've never quite seen before. She's brilliant, controversial, and completely unstoppable. And if this is just her warm-up act, you have to wonder what the main event is going to look like. One thing is for certain, we'll all be watching